Hello and welcome back, guys. So in this video I'll show you some basics like how to navigate in Photoshop, use tools, create a custom document, save it, etc. So let's get started. First of all, we just need to open our Photoshop. Okay, once the Photoshop has opened, if you guys have any recent files, they might appear over here. If not, doesn't matter. Either ways, just click on create new. Now, just like I said before, if you have any custom settings that are done, they will appear over here. If not, you just click on default, or you can choose from one of the presets over here. But for this one, we are making custom settings. So you click on default, then you change the name. I'm gonna call this one nav because as in navigation, because that's what I'm teaching you guys in this video. Second thing, we're going to change this from inches to pixels because inches or maybe one of these metrics is good for print, but we're working on a website, uh, like on a website screen, so we're going to change it to pixels. Now keep an eye over here as I change this to pixel. Keep an eye on these two things, width and height. When I change it to pixels, it directly converts it, but that's not what we want. We want like the height and the width of a standard HD video that's available on every monitor. So that is 1920 to 1080p. Orientation is fine. Resolution is the density of pixels per inch. So I'm going to decrease this to 72. It basically means how crisp and nice, your image quality will be. But if this is too high, then the file size will be really high, and that's no good. Everything else is fine. The background is white. Maybe you guys are used to transparent background or whatever. For me, it's fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and click create. Once the screen is open, you guys might want to look at the properties over here. Mine are showing the width and the height in pixels, but for some of you this might not be the case. So this is something we need to fix in the settings. So all you need to do is just go to the edit, go to preferences, then over here there is units and rulers. You click on that. Over here in rulers it must say inches. You have to change it to pixels. After that, rest of it is okay. Just click on OK, and then you'll have this thing over here. Maybe if you guys are new and you have just jumped in directly at this video, my settings might look very different. That's because in our previous video we set it up our dashboard for this course. You can refer to that one to have the same setup. Now, once all of this is done, let's actually take a look at a few tools on our left-hand side at the toolbar. So, oh, by the way, before we jump into this, the screen, the workspace, the resolution and the height and the width we set is supposed to actually be full screen, but this is not full screen. If it were full screen, it would occupy the whole window. Also, you can check over here at the top. It says over here nav. So it will tell you the name of the file and it will tell you the percentage that you're zoomed in. So over here we're at 66.7%. Now coming back to the tools. So all the tools on the left hand side, if you hover over them, they will not only give you the name, the shortcut, the description, they will also give you a brief demonstration on how to use the tool. For example, if I go over here, it's quick selection tool. W makes a selection by finding and following the edges in an image, and it gives a description and so on. If you're not getting the demonstration, it's probably because you're using an old version of Photoshop, so you can update it. Now let's actually try to use some of them. So I'm gonna click on brush tool. I already have some other settings, so I'm just going to change them so you guys can understand. So when I click on brush tool B, if I click and hold down on this small arrow over here, it will show me the other options that are available inside the brush tool, pencil tool, and so on. we're just going to take the small brush tool, the first one, and you can actually toggle through these options just by selecting B, as you know, it's the shortcut to all of them. Well, you click, then you will see a small circle. uh, Another thing you guys might want to notice over here is that every tool you select will have a different icon and will have a different set of options available for that tool right up over here. So for example, if I were to select this move tool, the icon has changed and the options as well. If I were to choose a lasso tool, again, the icon has changed and so have the options. Again, going back, now we're going to choose the brush tool. Now over here, when you see the sun type of sign, you can click on it. It can tell you, you will have a lot of different options to choose from. You can change the size, you can change the hardness, you can change these over here. I've already selected one. The color, you can change the color however you want the color to be. After that, you can just start, messing around with it. If at any time you design something that you don't want, you can just press this shortcut called Control Z. I think if you're on Mac, it will be Command Z, but over here, as soon as you do Control Z, it will just undo the thing you did. So I can just mess the whole thing up and just press Control Z, and then it'll be gone. Now, another way to access the setting of brush tool is by, adding them over here, brush settings. For me, I have already clicked on that, so I have brush settings available to me over here, the brushes and the brush settings. I'm gonna click on it, and then I'm gonna have much more variety as to what I can choose and stuff. So maybe I choose one of, I don't know, one of these designs, and maybe you guys can't see it because the icon is really small, but okay, go back in. If I click, well, okay, Control Z. This is not one of the fancy ones. Let me select this one. Okay, go back in. Yeah. So over here, when I start drawing, it will start drawing it in a really nice way. Another thing you can do to erase the designs that you don't want, because Control Z will just undo the whole thing, is we can check out the eraser tool over here. You can click on the eraser tool just like that, like the last time. You can have the options, how big you want the size to be and stuff. I I Mine is actually really, this is a preset setting. Well, then you can erase all of it. And yeah, moving along, another tool that I want you guys to be familiar with actually in this video is the moving this hand tool and the zoom tool for zooming in and zooming out. But for that, we need to have a little bit of design. I'm going to choose this. The size is a little too big, so I'm going to reduce the size. Yep. Click outside the window, and yep. So let's say you're designing over here, and you wanted to zoom into the screen. Well, you can click on the zoom tool and click on the plus one. When you click, you can keep zooming in. Then you can click on the brush tool, and then you can design. Once you're done designing, you can just click on this, and then click on the minus one, and then you can zoom out. Another thing is that the place you click on, it zooms in or zooms out exactly over there. So if I click over here, it will zoom out this way. If I click on zoom in and I press here, it will zoom in into this place, or if I click here, it will zoom in directly into this place. Another tool that you guys want to know is the hand tool. The hand tool doesn't move the design itself or anything over there. It just moves the whole workspace. So for example, let's zoom out, and you can use the hand tool to move the whole thing. So for example, if you just wanted to focus on this area, you can just move the workspace like this, and go back over here, click there, zoom in, go to the brush tool, draw, whatever. Then you want it to move again, so you can click on the hand tool and then move around. But this is very tedious and repetitive, going here again and again, again and again. So I'm going to teach you guys shorthand, shortcut keys to do this. And I highly suggest that in this course, you guys learn a lot of shortkeys because they will make your job just much easier. So to zoom in and zoom out without actually going back and touching to to the magnifying glass, is you can be using the brush tool. All you need to do is just hold Control and then press minus to zoom out. And you can do the same thing to zoom in, just hold Control and plus. The more times you press plus, the more you zoom in. So then just zoom in without ever having to leave the tool that you were using for drawing or painting, and then just draw. Control minus, zoom out, draw, Control plus, zoom in, whatever. Another shortcut that I'm going to tell you guys is, you can see that the cursor is still as a brush. All you need to do right now is just press space and hold it down, and it will automatically convert to the hand tool. So you can just move over here, draw, Control plus to move in, draw, then press a space to move around, find some empty space. Oh, here, you found it. Draw. And then finally, once you're done, Control minus, and you will just zoom out of the screen. The final shortcut I'm going to teach you guys in this video is actually not just a shortcut. The thing to do is how to save your documents. So you can actually go up over here and save them, save as or whatever. But I'm just going to use a quicker way. You can just press Control S, and it will open this save window. Select the place you want to save your file, the name, the format. Over here it says Photoshop, but if you click on it, you can have a lot of options. You can have PNG, you can have a JPEG or whatever. I'm just going to leave it at Photoshop format because so that we can come back to this file later in the course and edit it. And click on save, and after that, if you close this file, you'll see it's still available over here. So you can just click on it and it will reopen the file. Now, like I said before, I will highly suggest that you guys learn all the shortcut keys as we go along, because they will make your life much, much, much easier in this course. And play around with these tools, select on them, draw with them, just to get an idea what they are for. Some of them are for editing, some of them are for other stuff, some of them are just there as support tools and stuff like that. So yeah, once you're comfortable with this, we will get into our next video where we will try to do a lot more and edit some projects. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can keep up with the course, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.